Jason Hartman was the quintessential success story. At 45, he was the CEO of a thriving tech company, celebrated for his vision and leadership. On the outside, he appeared to have it all: a luxurious home, a beautiful family, and accolades that seemed to flow endlessly. Colleagues respected him, friends admired him, and the media lauded him as a visionary. However, beneath the polished exterior lay a different truth, a truth he hid behind a carefully crafted mask. For years, Jason struggled with depression and anxiety. It all began in his early 30s when the pressure of climbing the corporate ladder took its toll. The demands of work, the relentless pursuit of perfection, and the fear of failure created an internal storm he could no longer ignore. He learned to smile in public, laugh at jokes, and deliver inspiring speeches, all while feeling like an imposter. Every morning, Jason would wake up and stare at his reflection in the mirror, forcing himself to put on a brave face. "You're strong," he would tell himself. But inside, he felt like he was crumbling, weighed down by expectations he had set for himself and those imposed by society. The pressure intensified when his company went public. The stakes were higher, and the spotlight was brighter. Jason poured himself into work, often spending long hours at the office, sacrificing time with his family and neglecting his health. He convinced himself that success was worth the cost, that accolades and bonuses would fill the void he felt inside. But the more he achieved, the more empty he became. At home, his wife, Sarah, noticed the change. She would often find him staring blankly at the television or coming to bed late after another long day at work. Conversations became shallow and laughter faded. Jason was physically present, but emotionally, he was miles away. "Jason, are you okay?" Sarah asked one evening, concern etched on her face. "You seem so distant lately." "I'm fine, really," he replied, forcing a smile. "Just busy with work." But deep down, he knew that wasn't true. The anxiety was crippling, a constant companion that whispered lies in his ear. "You're not good enough," it would say. "Everyone will find out you're a fraud." He felt trapped in a cycle of despair, too ashamed to seek help and too proud to show weakness. One particularly challenging day, Jason was in the middle of an important meeting when an overwhelming wave of anxiety crashed over him. His heart raced, palms sweaty, and vision blurred. He excused himself and rushed to the bathroom, splashing cold water on his face. As he looked into the mirror, he saw a man he barely recognized, a man burdened by fear and uncertainty. It was then that he made a decision that would change his life forever. He couldn't continue living this way. He needed to confront his demons, but the thought terrified him. What would his colleagues think? Would they see him as weak? The mask he had worn for so long felt heavy, but he realized it was time to take it off. That evening, after a long day at work, Jason sat in his car outside a therapist's office. His heart raced as he contemplated going inside. He took a deep breath, remembering the countless times he had encouraged his employees to embrace vulnerability. With trembling hands, he opened the car door and stepped out, determined to face his fears. Inside the therapist's office, Jason sat in a comfortable chair, feeling vulnerable and exposed. "I don't even know where to start," he admitted. "That's okay," the therapist replied gently. "Take your time. What brings you here today?" As Jason spoke about his struggles, he felt a weight lift off his shoulders. For the first time in years, he was no longer hiding behind a mask. The therapist listened without judgment, providing a safe space for him to express his feelings of inadequacy and anxiety. Over the next few months, Jason continued attending therapy sessions. He learned valuable coping strategies and discovered that he was not alone in his struggles. Many successful individuals faced similar challenges, yet they often felt compelled to hide their vulnerabilities. Through therapy, he began to understand the importance of mental health and the power of vulnerability. As he started to open up, Jason also began to make changes in his life. He prioritized self-care, setting boundaries at work, and carving out time for his family. He took up meditation and started exercising regularly, activities that had fallen by the wayside during his relentless pursuit of success. Each small step forward felt empowering, a reminder that he was reclaiming his life. One evening, while having dinner with Sarah, Jason decided it was time to share his journey with her. "I need to tell you something," he said, taking a deep breath. "I've been struggling with depression and anxiety for a long time. I thought I could handle it on my own, but I've realized that I need help." Sarah's eyes widened with concern, but then softened with understanding. "Oh, Jason," she said, reaching across the table to hold his hand. "I wish you had told me sooner. I've been worried about you. I'm here for you no matter what." Tears welled in Jason's eyes as he felt the weight of isolation begin to lift. He had been afraid of how she would react, but her love and support filled him with hope. "Thank you for being so understanding," he said, his voice breaking. "I'm learning that it's okay to not be okay." As the weeks turned into months, Jason's journey toward healing continued. He became an advocate for mental health in his company, encouraging open conversations about mental well-being among his employees. He shared his own experiences, reminding them that seeking help was a sign of strength, not weakness. Slowly, the culture at work began to shift, creating an environment where vulnerability was embraced. With each passing day, Jason felt more empowered to live authentically. He learned to set boundaries and prioritize what truly mattered: his family, his mental health, and his passion for work. He discovered that success was not solely measured by his job title or financial achievements, but by his ability to connect with others and live a fulfilling life. As he stood before his employees during a company-wide meeting, he felt a sense of peace wash over him. "I want to talk about something important today," he began, looking out at the faces in the audience. "Mental health matters. It's okay to ask for help, and you don't have to wear a mask. We're all human, and we all face challenges." The applause that followed felt different than the accolades he had received in the past. It was filled with sincerity and understanding, a shared why. Recognition of the importance of vulnerability. Jason knew that by removing his mask, he had not only freed himself, but also inspired others to do the same. Months later, as Jason sat in his office, looking out at the bustling city below, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. The journey had not been easy, but it had been transformative. He had learned that true strength lies not in perfection, but in authenticity. Jason's story became a beacon of hope for others, proving that it's never too late to seek help and embrace vulnerability. He realized that behind every mask lies a story worth telling, and sometimes the bravest thing one can do is to take it off. As he closed his eyes, he reflected on how far he had come. He was no longer just a successful CEO. He was a man in touch with his emotions, committed to helping others navigate their struggles. With a grateful heart, Jason smiled, knowing that he had found the courage to be himself and live life on his own terms.